Oh.
Made it.
Yes. Yes,
Earlier.
when I when I saw the bridge closing had been canceled, I thought you might come.
Yeah.
How are you?
Okay.
Good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate your traditionality. I I remember one of my, I think it was my very first teacher telling me about the red envelope. And I did that with him and with some others, but
I'm sorry?
oh no, I said I did that with him and then with some other teachers, but
Okay.
um, I think after a while, sometimes I had difficulty finding red. So, what's the weather like? I haven't been out yet today.
It's going to be about the same as yesterday, I think.
Oh,
Low 70s,
good, good.
It's probably mid 60s now.
Yeah,
So.
I like these cool nights.
Yes. I suppose we'll pay for them, but
Yes, that's a
but I'll take them while
possibility.
they're here.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. uh, One of our boys and his wife are coming to visit in late August, and we almost got in touch with them to say, you know, it would be a lot more comfortable if you come a little bit later. But she's a nurse, and she has a hard enough time getting time off, and they just took 2 weeks to go to Europe. So,
Yeah.
good morning, Jeff.
Morning.
Morning.
Hey, Bill. It's adjusting my camera.
I'm in here somewhere.
You,
There I am.
Here he is. Thank you for your Venmo.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure.
Good. What's the weather like down there?
It's been record heat,
Oh,
actually, high 90s. So very,
not
very difficult moving weather.
yeah, not great.
Yeah.
Are you starting to move?
I'm coming to near the end of moving, actually.
Ah,
It's
wow.
been a long process. We had one of those pods in the driveway for like a month, and I filled it. It's already been over to the other house, emptied out. So a lot of the small stuff is there. I've been taking most of what remains each day over, basically every day I go over there.
Yeah,
And on the 24th, I have movers coming to take all the big furniture and a couple of stray boxes, and that's it.
cool.
But yesterday I cut the lawn at our new place, our rental, and I had to cut the lawn here. So I was doing a lot of lawn cutting in record heat. So it was a very tiring day.
I would think so. That's not fun.
I'll be very glad when the closing is done on this place and it's
Yeah.
one place is enough to take care of.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, onward and upward. So, questions? Uh, Anything for you, Jeff?
Not at the moment.
I can imagine you haven't had a lot of practice time.
Uh, no, this hasn't been one of my better practice weeks.
Okay. Um, did you happen to look at last week's video at all?
I started to, and I got pulled away with something, and I never got back to it, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I was working, of course, just with Bill, so were you able to apply any of what we worked on last week?
A bit. Not, it was a bad week. Yeah.
You had a bad week too. I see. Okay. Um,
Was I not here last week? Was that the
about
week before?
was what?
Was I not? Was I not here in class last week, or was that the week before? Do
I
you
think it
recall?
was last week.
Was it? Okay. I
Yeah.
don't remember. Okay.
Yeah, you weren't here last week. You were
Right.
tied up.
Got it.
So, well,
I will watch it though, and then we'll get caught up.
well, there are probably a couple of things in there that might be helpful.
I'm
Um,
sure.
um, we looked at the Qigong standing and also at the first few postures in the form in terms of really trying to be clear about the movements and um, so particularly twisting, I guess we focused on a lot.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. So, well, let's just do it and see where we are. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Apologies, I mean,
you don't have to
I
apologize.
mean, it doesn't, I know, I mean, it's a matter of practice or not practice, and if you don't practice, then there are consequences.
Yeah, you don't progress as much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so one of the things, and I may have talked about this with Bill last week. I can't remember, but in Master Joe's discussion about the three levels of um, Tai Chi training or development. In the first one, in the Earth stage or the human stage, um, the very first thing is slowness. Working on slowing everything down. Now, with the Qigong, that's determined by your breath. So as slow as you can make the breath and not be breathless is what you're endeavoring to do with that. In the form, it's not dependent on the breath. It's dependent on your movement. And slowness allows you to be really clear about what you're doing. So I think it would be a good thing for us to do flows of the form as slowly as you can and still maintain as much of the postures as you're able to. It doesn't mean to slow down and not do things, but to push that envelope a little bit. And it does allow you to recognize whether you are clearly aware of twisting and bending and lengthening and all of the pieces that we work on. So it's it's a really good it's a really good principle to play with. And if you don't have time to do a whole flow, then you do a part of the form. Um, it could just be the beginning, or it could be the section that you have the most difficulty with. Um, so um, if you have 10 minutes, do what you can do in 10 minutes. Uh, don't say, oh, I haven't got half an hour, so I'm not going to practice. Um, because, as Master Joe said, 5 or 10 minutes of really good, concentrated, aware practice is far better than an hour or two of just wandering through stuff. So,
You know what you said about breath driving the cart in the Qigong makes perfect sense now that I hear it, but that hasn't been my practice. Yeah. So that's interesting.
So why didn't I say that sooner? Or did I say that sooner?
I'm not sure. It you know comes into the practice, but as a piece of everything else, but not the driving force. So that's
another way to certainly to approach the Qigong.
Yeah.
Certainly. Good. So let's stand up and go through that. And then I'll watch you do your forms, probably one at a time.
You have your camera back.
Yes, and I don't know how. I tried to download an updated driver and I couldn't do it. I played with it for a long time. Nothing was happening. This morning I turned it on and there it was. So, computers.
Yeah.
Not my strongest suit. So stepping out into Wu Chi. And just letting yourself stand for a moment. Be aware of your structure throughout the entire body. Feet softening, merging down into the earth. The head lifting off of the jade pillow, the base of your neck. Not into tension, but just opening a little space so the energy flows to the crown of your head. And then being very, very aware of your breathing. And allowing it to slow and soften. And as you stand, be aware of allowing yourself to scan down through your body from the crown of your head. Just letting yourself be aware of any places in your body where there might be a blockage or an impediment to the flow of the chi. Allowing your energy to drop through your body. And then extending your mind through your body. Really being aware of, as much as you can, what is happening inside your body. Feel the various energetic flows. The expansion and contraction of your body, your torso, as you breathe. And then using all the pieces that we've worked on, begin to move that energy through your body. Don't have any intention of coordinating with anyone else. Focus on your own breath. And allow it to determine your pace. Feel what each of those movements does to the energy. Try to keep your movement constant and consistent. As you inhale, be aware of drawing in from toes, fingers, and crown of your head to your dantian. And as you extend out, going from your dantian out to fingers, toes, and crown. Don't forget that subtle weight shift on your feet. let's sit for a minute. So what did you feel? What was different, if anything?
Well, speed.
The speed, yes, okay. And?
Um, well, I was more focused on the breath, and that meant from time to time getting it coordinated, you know, so, not quite used to that slowness, but it felt good when it was working, yeah.
Um, so I encourage you to do it slowly.
I was thinking at some point this will be a good one to watch, because,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Yes, I'm not moving very fast. Yeah, there is hope that you can see what I'm doing. Jeff, what for you?
Uh, I found that, as you had mentioned, when you do things more slowly, you can remember to incorporate more aspects of it. So
Yeah,
I I usually don't think to remember to incorporate the subtle weight shift back and forth, but I was able to do that most of this flow.
yeah, that's good. You, you'll find that, excuse me, I think increasing the energy flow when you do that. Any questions come up while you're doing that?
I was also trying to incorporate the C curve as well.
Good.
So that was another thing where I liked the weight shift. I remembered it more frequently throughout than I usually do. And
Hmm.
I'm always focusing on the movement from the bottom of the spine and all the twisting and all of that. So
Yeah,
I was able to remember these a bit more as well.
good. Well, those are all positive aspects of doing it slowly. And it also helps you to let your breath slow even more. So it's a very good way to approach it. So, do either of you have any form questions before we think about a flow? Okay. Who would like to go first?
Up to Bill, I give him the option.
Bill will go.
Okay?
So I suggest
Yeah.
you come over where you can see yourself and actually, I think I'll pin you. Maybe. Oh, there it is. No, that's not what I meant. uh,
when you ask whether I have any questions, it's not so much questions as observations that
Mm-hmm.
come from time to time, and one of them is right away, and that's that I've noticed myself when I drop the weight, I do that rather than dropping it straight down.
Well, you're actually right. It's both.
It's both.
It's both. Yeah, because as you're, I'll do it in front of you.
Yeah.
It's not drop down, turn and step.
Right.
It's drop and turn and step.
You're racing from the claw, right?
Yeah, at the moment, yes.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
kind of lets you, or kind of forces you to one side.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm feeling my knee move out, and I'm thinking it shouldn't be moving as much as it is.
No, it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Then I wasn't aware of that, but
Yeah, that's what I meant by,
yeah, and I see it now
Yeah.
as you say that. So keeping your knees straight
Yeah.
and letting your quad close and move you to that side, but not changing the knee. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Should not affect the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill, from my angle also, it may just be my angle, but it also looks like your shoulders and all are twisting more than the rest of your body,
Mm-hmm.
almost like a corkscrew.
Yep. So in other words, not maintaining the 4 points.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So those are my kinds of questions. They're not,
No, that's good.
Yeah.
And that's really important about the knee.
Yeah.
So you want to have that focus that the knee it bends, but it doesn't bend to the side.
Right.
Look at your shoulders compared to your hips. Yep. So you let the whole body turn together.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so concentrated on my legs that I forgot the hands.
It's all right.
It looked better though.
It was better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did it again.
Hmm. Single whip.
Yeah. No, my hands were down here.
I know. So you're going into high pat first and then tighten it.
Yeah. Come on.
Maybe we should stop there. Good.
I'm having significant balance problems.
Okay, so um, the letting your weight shift back is still really prevalent today. That's a piece to really try to be aware of. And yeah, take a break. As you go into postures, and it happened with different things, but there was too much movement of the hands, but it was kind of from a limpness to a fullness. So that, for instance, when you went into a single whip, it was,
Okay.
that's not what we're doing there.
Yeah.
You know, but, I mean, we get that thing, and your elbows are driving from the spine and the scapula to here. So it's not this. It's the whole arm going up and out. Yeah. Wave hands was pretty good. One of the things that I would say also overall for you to be really aware of is keeping the hands in the center of the body. So most of the time, the hands do not, in this form, cross the center line of the body. So, in other words, you're you're never going to be in a position like this, with the arms out to
Right.
one side.
Right.
If you're wherever you are, that's where your arms are. And even in wave hands, you do have a little crossing of the center of the body, but um, when you get to that point, even here, it's not that the hands have gone over there; they're still here, and they're coming back in, and the circle, of course, is much smaller on the other side. So the circle has to come from here and here, not from the arms. There. I don't want to give you too much. Is that?
No, it's, yeah.
That's probably enough to think about at the moment. Yeah. Let's see if I can get Jeff back here. I know you're there, Jeff.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Just a second. There we go. Okay. Oh, no. Well, I am really not seeing well today. No, that's not what I want either. Sorry, guys. I having a moment of hmm. Huh.
Which one are you looking
I'm
for?
trying to find remove pin.
Uh, that's not on that list.
I know. That's weird.
Mute, stop, blur, choose video filter.
Huh. Um, well, that's boo. Suddenly, I don't know how to get out of this. Oh, Jeff came back. Ah,
There it is.
there you are. Did I disconnect you?
Yeah, I waited for a little bit and then I just left the meeting and rejoined it just now. So
That was a good idea.
yeah, I gave it a little bit just because I didn't know what was happening, but
Neither did I. There's pin, right?
That's put in waiting room.
Oh,
Oh, up here. The last of the four. Yes.
there. Okay. There we go. Gee whiz. Okay, would you like to do a flow?
sure. What were you trying to do? Were you trying to swap me into the big picture?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And uh, I think when I lost you, then my screen would not remove pin because there was only one camera on, uh,
Okay.
and I couldn't figure out what was going on. You see all right from there?
I'm sorry.
Can you see all right from there?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Is that slower than you usually do it?
No,
No?
no, now that I think about it, I actually wasn't thinking about slowing it down. So I could definitely slow it down more than that.
You could not?
No, I could,
Oh.
and I should. Yeah, no, I wasn't. I lost track of our goal of slowness. Sorry.
Okay. The other thing, a couple of things I would say is play with making all the arm movements as small as you possibly can and without losing them.
Okay.
So going to the other extreme, if you
Right.
will.
Yeah.
Um, and making sure that you round your corners. You have a real tendency to complete a posture and then dive into the next one. The pace didn't change, but uh, just instead of having a roundness, oh, you can't see me there. Um, I'm oh, that's not what I want. That's why. I'm all right. So what I was saying there was that uh, instead of getting to the completion of a movement and then going right into the next thing, to find how even with the slightest little bit of curve, um, which, for instance, the one that comes to my mind is going into lift hand, because when you complete lift hand, you're going to go to high pat, and so as you complete lift hand, it's not go to high pat, it's make a little curve to go into it. So um, I know I've told you this, but I still remember when we were learning the Yang long form, Master Joe suddenly saying, "Round your corners!" And we would all, oh yeah, we were around our corners. Um,
It's funny. I think of that in a few postures, like when I'm going in to shoot the arrow. I now round it and go lower.
yep,
I don't keep it as a regular thing that I think about, which
yep,
posture you just pointed out was a perfect example because I do lift hand and then I just start shifting right back and
yep.
instead of rounding into it. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because when you don't round the corners, that causes a subtle interruption of the energy.
Right, but that's the whole silk reeling, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Breaks, breaks the reeling. Yeah,
Yep, yep.
that's
Um,
these are the things I need reminders of every now and then because we talk about them and then I do them for a while and then I kind of forget them.
yeah.
So whatever you see and tell me.
No, it's it's hard to remember it all. I mean,
Oh, it is. Yeah,
there's a lot going on.
yeah,
Um, but I do think that uh, you still have a significant um, overextension in the completion of not all but many of the postures.
right. Yep.
So doing some practice of just making them small,
Slow and small is what I will try and
slow
focus.
and small, S and S.
Yeah. No,
Um,
that's true. I just you know
yeah,
that's I I again I often forget that the Wu style is meant to be smaller.
yeah.
Simple, basic fact.
Um, and actually, Master Joe said ultimately there is almost no external movement.
Mm,
When you reach the highest level, it's not, you don't have to anymore
right,
because you have the energy to work with.
right.
So that doesn't require huge movement.
Mm,
Um, the Yang style is big movement because that's the stage of development.
right,
But here we really want to try to begin to let it get smaller. I mean, some things require a certain size.
right,
Um, you can't avoid it, but um, where you can, and even with those, you want to try to work on making them as small as you reasonably can.
right.
Yeah,
Yep,
good.
okay.
Other questions? What time is it?
Hmm?
What time is it?
Um,
Just about 11.
yeah, just about 11.
Yeah.
11.
Um, so I think I'm going to stop here.
Okay.
Um, seems to me you've got enough to work on, and um, maybe you can find a little practice time this week.
Mm,
Um, remember, Master Joe said make a little bit of progress each day. He didn't say make a whole lot of progress.
right.
He didn't say you have to practice 5 hours every day. Make a little progress. Find those 5 and 10 minutes where you could just do a little bit.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Good luck with your moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's not that's not a happy time.
And, given all the other external things going on, we've had to extend it over a long period of time rather than try and do it all fast and furious. So that has worked out well. We've broken it
Yeah,
down into many sessions of moving, just as we broke it down into many sessions of getting the house into tip-top shape before it was put on the market. So this has been
yeah.
going on since February. This whole process started in February, and it's just that's why it'll be such a relief when the closing's done and we're moved and
Oh
I can
yeah.
relax a little. But I may even try and do a short trip to Connecticut in July before Kate and Jesse come back just for like 3 days because my mom's not doing well. So I
Yeah.
have a need to get up there as soon as possible. So if so, I'll try and include a Tuesday in it so I can come up and be there.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah,
We'd love to see you
Yeah.
in
yeah,
person.
yeah. Great. But I'll let you know. I'll let you know how that.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You go. See you next week. Take care, Bill.
Yep.
Yeah. You too.